welcome to Shamrock Rovers Fan TV, and today I have my match preview for Shamrock Rovers against Waterford at Tallaght Stadium on the 21st of September. Now, we have played Waterford this season at the RSC, and it was a good 2-0 win. Reece Marshall scoring a stunning goal on his debut, and his competitive debut, and an unfortunate own goal from them. But it was a great win for us that game, and I think we played well in that day. We could have played a lot better, yes, and the RSC is always a hard place to go. But I think you'd take a 2-0 win in this game. They did beat Bows, which really helped us a lot in the title race. But I think it's going to be a tough place to go. I'll get onto my score prediction later. It's always a tough place to go, but now we're bringing them to Tallaght. So I think that could be a bit of an advantage. You know, there is no fans, which that's always a big advantage to fans because both teams have some great fans. But I'm hoping we can get a win, and I think we will, but we're going to have to give it our all. Now let's get on to my starting 11 for the game at 5-4-1 formation. In goal, Alamanis hasn't put a foot wrong this season. No way you can't include him in the squad. At left wing back, I'm going to go with Danny Lafferty, but I'm not saying he will start, or I'm not saying he's eligible to start. But I think you can definitely see Neil Farrugia because he wasn't included even on the bench last game, which was unfortunate, but let's hope he's back and let's hope he can start. And a right wing back, Ronan Finn, the captain, you need him in your team. The engine kind of falls apart because he is the engine to our team. When we're very organised with him in the squad, so I think he needs to start. And as the first centre back, Joey O'Brien, I think Liam Scales will play, but the problem is Joey, he did fall asleep for 1 minute, and then it led to a goal in that game, and I think we can't afford to do that, but he is a cracking player. I definitely think Liam Scales could play because Bradley has been doing that when he's available, but I'd go with Joey O'Brien. And as the second centre-back, Lee Grace, I think he will play. Unfortunately, he couldn't play in the Ivaz Tampere game, which was a crazy game, probably one of the biggest and best games of our season, and the biggest one you'd say was the AC Milan game, but that one really mattered. And the AC Milan game, we didn't expect to win, but we went in expecting a good performance, and that's what we did get. Fortunately, he wasn't a part of the Tampere game, but he played his role in the AC Milan game, so I think he has to start. And beside him, Roberto Lopez, to finish off the defence, think he has to start. He had the guts to have a sliding tackle on one of the best players in the world, who knows how to go down once you touch him. So he had the guts to have a sliding tackle in the box on Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but it was an incredible tackle. And it's the left midfielder, Graham Burke, who he's been doing very well recently. A great goal against Tampere. Did well in the AC Milan game. Every player did well and they played their role. But I think Graham Burke, he's been doing really well recently. Sometimes he does switch off and he goes missing, but when he's on form, he's incredible. As the right midfielder, Jack Byrne, I think Jack, he has to play. You can't really have a team without Jack Byrne when he's fit. He did really well in the AC Milan game, picking out some very good passes, trying to break down their defence, and it did work, so I think he'll have to play. And as the first centre midfielder, Gary O'Neill, he didn't have as much of a good game as I kind of expected him to against AC Milan, but he did have a good game. I think he will start, and there's not really anyone else that could play, maybe Dylan Watts, but I don't know. I think Gary O'Neill will play because he's been on great form recently. It wasn't as good in the last game. And to finish off the midfield, everyone would have him in their team, Aaron McInnes. Now, I think he's kind of switched off recently and hasn't been as good, but I still think he has been good. It's just the level that he can play to hasn't been there, and that's a good thing. He's even been good. But when I say he hasn't been up to the level he can, that's a compliment on him. It's how good he can play. And as the striker to finish off the team, Aaron Green did really well against AC Milan. Great touch giving his son Zlatan Ibrahimovic's jersey after he swapped with him after the game. I think Aaron played well and he had a good chance, which he probably should have squared. I did talk about that in my match reaction, which if you wanted me to talk about that game a bit more into context, go over and check that video out after this. And you probably should have squared it, but you never know, the AC Milan defender could have got to it. And for my score prediction, I think it'll be 2-1 Rovers. I think we will get 2. I think Aaron Green will score because he did do very well against Cork. And I think Graham Burke will get a goal. And for them, I think it could be Ali Coote. He's been doing well recently. And I do hope I'm wrong. I hope it's bigger. But I hope we win. And I don't mind who scores. It's just a prediction. But I really think we need to win this. If we win this, I think the title race, not over, but it's going to be so much in our favour. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know your score prediction down in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Come on the Hoops!